Hi everyone, thank you so much for joining me today for this studio tour. I've actually done a studio tour for this exact space about 2 years ago. To be completely honest, there's not a whole lot that's changed in here except the fact that I have way more plants. I've lost control and I've gone down the rabbit hole and I'm never coming out, so I've just accepted this. In the studio tour that I made 2 years ago, I didn't show you guys my studio closet because it was a total dump in there. I just moved into the space. Since then, I have actually organized it and made it a functional space, so I'll be showing you that today. That's pretty much it, so let's get on with this tour. That right there is Callie's bed. She likes to sleep in here when I'm working and just loves to hang out with me. That is my Parker Solar Probe painting from my NASA video that you guys saw. It's actually vertical, the orientation's supposed to be horizontal, but this video was one of my favorites that I ever made, if not my favorite video that I've ever made, so please watch that because I poured like my entire heart and soul into that video. That's my label and document printer. I don't use that to make prints. I use it just for like labels and stuff that doesn't need quality. I have some wood panels back there for art and my paper cutter that I use for exactly what the name says. I have some art on the wall here. It's 2 paintings I made on canvas paper of a sunflower series where I was just kind of trying to combine realism with abstraction and be more free in my art because I tend to focus a lot on details and obsess over them, and I'm trying not to do that as much. That's my Iceland landscape. Back there is a work in progress. It's a painting, a huge water painting that I've been working on and kind of abandoned, but I'm going to be continuing it really soon and you'll see that time lapse. Over here I have my art cards and I have a lot of my oil paintings in there, and Callie has joined us. Hi Callie! So yeah, I think it was like $25 at IKEA. It's actually a kitchen cart that's meant for like kitchen stuff, but it's perfect for art, and you've probably seen this exact cart on so many artist Instagrams. Normally it's like right here. I have this cloth over a box because it's literally just a gross, ugly box, but I need something to prop my palette up higher if I stand and paint, so that's why I have that, and just that fabric makes it look prettier. And this is actually a kitchen stool that I also use for propping up my reference and some other things like paint thinner, brushes. This is for when I'm sitting because it's a lot lower and it's at a great height for that. And I have a Veganese jar for paint thinner, and I know you're not supposed to put your brushes like face down, but I'm a terrible brush mother. I've confessed to this several times, so there's nothing new here. I'm just a terrible brush mother. So this is my easel. It is an H-frame easel. I got it on Amazon. It was like 120 bucks, which is pretty cheap for an H-frame easel, to be honest, but it works for me. It's not like the highest quality, it's not the sturdiest, but I think it's great and I love it. I love this little bottom compartment here where you can put brushes, mediums, paper towels, whatever you really need. I love having that extra space there, and that was something that was really important for me when choosing an easel. Behind it I have my pothos plant, which is just growing nonstop. I've already cut it back like 7 times and it keeps growing, and there's like vines trailing on the floor again, so I have to trim it back again. But yeah, I have some shelves with my mediums there, my brush cleaner, linseed oil, varnish, things like that, and of course more plants. And then below it I have my brushes and more jars for mediums and all kinds of things for my art potions, if you will. And then over here, I didn't really bother to clean this up, but I have a bunch of brushes that I'm currently cleaning. I just didn't finish them before starting the tour. And then also some paintings that I created in my last video, which was an oil painting on agate video, and those have all actually sold that night, so thank you guys so much for supporting my art. I'm varnishing them and shipping them all off to you this week. Thank you. These are also actually kitchen carts at IKEA, and they were each $60 if I recall correctly, but they work really well in an art studio, and it's right about hip height for me, so it's also great when I'm painting. Underneath there I have some Gamsol, some flowers for references that I like to paint, and then some more mediums and a scale for my print and original orders. I have to weigh them to calculate the shipping cost, so that's what that's for. It has a 12-pound limit, and I also got that on Amazon. Then over here I have some books, some sketchbooks, and just notebooks and books and things like that, and some binders with documents, my print inventory, records, and also my taxes and things like that. So lots of boring stuff, really. And then I have a tray over there with some more containers for painting things, more plants, and then this little hanging basket, which I have more art materials like a watercolor set, some acrylic paints, and other little knickknacks and things like that. That's actually a candle holder, but I don't use it for that because I'll probably burn it in the studio, so it just looks like a cute piece of decoration, really. Then another plant, of course, a philodendron and an English ivy underneath it. I propagated that plant and that plant. That's ZZ, a philodendron, and more propagations up there. So I love propagating on the wall. It's so much fun. But up there I have some art. That one is an original painting. I did it really fast, and it's not my best work, obviously. And that one is a portrait of Callie Baby, my kitten pants. I love her so much. She's the queen. That's why she's gracing the top of our studio here. I have a candle holder back there. I don't really use that much because I don't want to burn the plant, but before I hung the plant up there, I did use it. And then a hanger that's in the wall. And then here I have more plants. These two tables are like TV dinner trays I got, I think at either Target or Walmart, I'm not sure, don't remember, but they both have these exact tables and they're like under $10, but I use them for my plants, which I have a bunch of. And then some shelves from Home Depot. Also, that shelf right there came from Michael's. I don't see them there anymore, but I know that's where they used to sell them. Maybe they'll have them at your location, but I haven't seen them locally. Yeah, more plants. A used pallet that's all dried up hanging up there. This is my African violet tray, and this is also from IKEA, this little tray. And I propagated all of these from a leaf, and it took a year for them to grow into whole plants, and now they're flowering and I love them. And below it I have my pochade box and a separate storage compartment for it, along with some pots for my plants and a watering canister down there with another pallet. Over here behind the plants I have some frames back there and more palettes. Since I work on several paintings at a time, I like to keep multiple palettes for each painting. Then over here I have another plant. I believe this is an Alocasia Regal, a Regal Alocasia, but it's also done pretty well in my studio. Normally it's facing the window, but for the studio tour I turned it this way. Then a little plant stand underneath it. And this is my desk, which is also from IKEA because, yeah, IKEA guys. I really should support like more local furniture stores, but at the time it was just so convenient and affordable, so yeah. And this is my iMac. It's a 2011, a late 2011 iMac. I bought it refurbished a few years ago, and I have a mouse pad that I actually ordered with my painting on it, so it's from my ocean painting. And then I have a chalkboard where I write down video ideas or video plans that I want to make, and just to keep them out somewhere in the open so that they don't just disappear into the abyss of my mind, I kind of cross them off as I'm finished with them. That's my checkbook, which we're not going to show you, but then I have some prints up there with another candle holder and a shelf with business cards, pens, pencils, tape, razor blades, and my do not bend stickers, and then a little picture of me and my husband at our friend's wedding, and my YouTuber play button that was shipped to me when I reached 100,000 subscribers. That mirror was actually like a really cheap dollar store mirror, but I made some decorations for it out of clay and then painted it gold. A piece of it actually fell off, so I need to fix that, but I wanted to decorate it and just make my own little frame for it, so makes it kind of more interesting and decorative. Underneath it, I have this big dry erase board with timestamps on it because this is my schedule, and I know it's ridiculous, like who needs a huge dry erase board for a schedule, but the answer is me. I do. If it's in a notebook somewhere, I'm gonna forget about it. I need to see it like by the minute, and I don't want to open my notebook like every half hour to look at what my next task is. And I don't waste a ton of paper, so I just write down my schedule. It's easy to fix it. If something needs to be erased, I just erase it. So this has been really great for me. Another thing I use this for is my titles. So if you see like my handwriting on screen, that was written down on this board, and then I edit it to be in the video. And I use my dry erase markers to kind of make it colorful and interesting. Right now it's empty because I already finished all the tasks for the day, so I erased it. But every night before my work day, I plan the day ahead and I write out all my tasks that need to be done that day. Down there I have my printer, some inks for it, and some canvas paper and my Wonder Woman painting, which I want to hang up, and then a Oregon forest landscape I made. This is the tripod that I use to prop my camera on top of when I'm working, and I normally film on a Canon T2i. Right now I'm filming on an EOS M, but usually all my time lapses are filmed on this, and then my Sketchbook Sunday and certain vlogs are filmed on my EOS M, but it's always propped up here, and typically I will have it like right here facing my easel or a little bit closer, it just depends. This is my softbox light that I use for illuminating my paintings and my videos, and I have another one in my closet, but typically I use one when I'm painting. And to be honest, I don't think this is super necessary unless you do have a YouTube channel, unless you are filming it, but I do think it's great for photographing artwork for prints and color proofing because it does create a very soft, even light. I think it's at about 5,000 or 5,500 on the Kelvin scale, which is a relatively neutral, cool light, which is perfect for video, perfect for photos. So yeah, this is what I use. I got it for like 80 bucks on Amazon. Just type in softbox lights and you'll find it. And there's 4 bulbs inside, and you can choose to have only half the bulbs on, so 2 at a time, and that controls the lighting because they are very, very bright. And yeah, normally it's like right here, right next to my camera, pointing at the painting, and I'll show you what that looks like. Very bright, even light. I love it. But again, this really isn't necessary unless you are filming and doing art professionally and photographing your own art. Otherwise, just get any neutral clamp light for or bulbs that are at 5,000 on the Kelvin scale. That'll be like a relatively cool neutral light. So yeah, I, however, need this for my videos, so that's what I use. So last time I didn't show you guys my closet. This is the only piece of fake plant other than my reference flowers that I have, but I wanted a vine, and at the time I didn't have such a huge viney plant, so I just hung this fake one up there. So yeah, only fake plant in my studio is right there on the door frame. But that is my closet. Let's go inside. Turn this light switch on. This is really never in my videos because it's not fun to look at. I mean, the only pretty thing in here is those flowers for my references, and those are some of the sunflowers I painted, but I have another softbox light for my backup, and sometimes I use them both if I'm doing talking videos or photographing my prints, but normally I just use one. I have a storage box, a frame with a canvas in it, and then a bunch of bubble wrap rolls. These are huge rolls that I use for my original paintings. And then I have a bunch of Amazon boxes that I saved because I didn't want to waste them, and they're great for shipping originals. And then over here I have this shelf here for some of my shipping materials. Some of them are canvases up there. Over here I have plastic sleeves for my prints so that it will protect them from rain and just keep them safe and more clean and pristine looking. And I have some envelopes, cardboard backing, and shipping tubes for my artwork here. More tubes on the back with the caps, and then some paper from my printer. And then over here I have a Red Dead Redemption 2 landscape that I'm working on. It's not done yet. If you guys want to see that video, let me know. More boxes back there, and I was working on scarves and knitting, so yeah, I never quite finished them, but I should, and I should move them because that's a mess. Then I have some bendy tripods over here and just more paper and knickknacks and things like that. I don't really feel like going over. It's kind of boring. And then like a little storage box. And yeah, I mean, it's not as organized as it can be, but it's definitely a lot better than when I first did this studio tour. On the door back here, I have this hanging thingy with more stuff. I have some lenses, cords, and more ink, rooting hormone for my plants, a drawing varnish spray, a glue gun, some Polaroids. I love taking Polaroids and just analog pictures in general. Normally I have those lights out in my studio, but I haven't unpacked them since MegaCon, so I've just had them on this door. But yeah, that's pretty much what it looks like in here in my studio closet. It is a walk-in closet, so it's semi-spacious. Some of the bulkier items that aren't quite as aesthetically pleasing, like my shipping materials, are all back here. So that's my art studio in its current state, slowly being overtaken by plants, one plant at a time. I should really just turn the floor into soil, and that's where it looks like we're headed anyway. Not yet, you know. I will try to hang on to some sanity for as long as I can, but we'll see where this goes. Subscribe to see me slowly lose my mind and eventually turn into a plant. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope to see you in my next video, and I'm wishing you all a beautiful and inspiring day.